What's up guys, One Up James here, and today we're looking at Astalon, Tears of the Earth on the Nintendo Switch. Astalon Tears of the Earth is an action platformer set in a dying world where life is cruel, but death can be a stepping stone to victory. Astalon follows a story about friendship and sacrifice, building up the courage to take down the giants to protect the weak and powerless. By embracing death, you are able to strengthen your party and change their fates. The game begins in the year 21XX, where disaster has struck the entire planet after the world's kingdoms fought for power and dominion until nothing was left but dust. A few people have survived and are now living in the radioactive desert, where they are eating scraps and doing what they must do to survive. A few decades later, the ruins of the old world begin to reappear. This is where our three protagonists begin their adventure to set out in search of a cause of what is polluting their land's waters in hopes of saving their village. A very good job has been done here of setting up the story and mood of the game, giving you a setting of the tragedy that has struck the planet and the life-saving task that you are setting on to save the village, and possibly the human race. The more you play, the more the story will unfold. Upon your first death, you learn that August, your mage character, has made a deal with Epimetheus, the Titan of Death, in exchange for his soul, giving August an unlimited number of tries to progress through the tower and to help free the land from the evils that have set forth to destroy all. Cutscenes are also introduced upon meeting several lone characters along the way, and a small character building interaction is given when you choose to rest at a campsite. The story is laid out well to let you know what's going on and adds slowly as you progress through the tower. My issue with this was that you will spend a lot of time backtracking or even dying and having to replay areas over and over again. So much that at times I felt disconnected from the story altogether, and by the time a cutscene comes to add more story, I was trying to remember the last events that were even mentioned. Now this is no fault of the game or the story itself, just my own experience of playing and how the story progressed as I made my way through it. The tower itself is where the entire game plays out. In this Metroidvania inspired platformer, a lot of the usuals will stand out as you play. Rooms in most directions, secrets to unlock, an unbelievable amount of exploration and backtracking. The developers have done an awesome job of delivering a diverse amount of areas. Changing the scene and content every few rooms gives you a very nice sense of progression. But with August having made a deal with Epimetheus, the roguelike replay of the stages will kick in pretty quick. For every time you die, you are placed at the very beginning of the tower and beginning from there. All major enemies and bosses will remain defeated, but all other enemies return. Luckily, after several hours of gameplay, you will unlock the elevator system. The elevators allow you to move to the couple of different locations around the map, but there is still a huge amount of replaying these rooms as you make your way back where you had previously died. But making your way back does get easier as you progress. As you play, you collect blue orbs dropped by enemies as they die. These blue orbs can be used after each death as you speak with Epimetheus to purchase upgrades such as health or damage power for each individual character, or buy several other group powers, abilities, and buffs. These abilities will greatly help you to progress and when having to retrack through previously played areas time and time again. Note that the enemies in each room do respawn when you exit the room, and if you're having trouble progressing, the option is there to pick an area and grind it out for a while and build up those blue orbs to purchase more upgrades for your characters. I never found myself lost too bad at any point. Just try your best to remember where important rooms are to save yourself a lot of time having to rehash rooms in search of your next goal to progress. The controls in Astalon are as solid as can be for this genre. Each time I died, I knew, in whichever way it was my fault. Even a fall from one floor to another and taking damage was still my fault for getting ahead of myself and not focusing on the next platform sequence. Hit detection is also very responsive and refreshing. Having your attacks actually landing and doing the appropriate damage also gives you the comfort of knowing that when you die, chances are it was your fault and not the game delivering more cheap deaths. The more you play, the more sense of control and confidence you will have using each character. Although Astalon is not a roguelike, nor is it a RPG, but with elements of both sprinkled into the 2D platformer, fans of several genres will have their fill with this well-designed game. I'm not shy at all to say that Astalon Tears of the Earth has my 100% approval, and I think it should be an immediate purchase for any fans of the genre. Astalon Tears of the Earth costs $19.99 on the Nintendo eShop, and if you're not buying today, please do yourself a favor and add it to your wish list immediately. Well guys, that's my review of Astalon Tears of the Earth on the Nintendo Switch. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, drop a like and subscribe. It only takes a second, and I'll see you next time guys. Later.